Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I wanted to go ahead and give my review on Married to Medicine. Um, this episode was cute. It was cute. We'll talk about. I was listening to Carlos King and Heavenly. Heavenly not supposed to be down to YouTube, but she gonna find a way, come hook or come crook. Daddy told her to stay her tail down from YouTube, but I was driving and I was listening to Carlos's YouTube, his review on the last episode, and got her heavenly voice. I say, girl. And she talked about people receiving letters or not receiving, because she came out and said, "We'll talk about that at the end." Anyways, it starts off with Apollo. It starts off where it left off. Apollo coming out on stage. Apollo fine. Girl, Apollo was kind of fine. My Kenya Moore voice. Apollo's still fine. I don't blame Phaedra. I would have been in that. I would have snuck over to that trap house too for a little tug and pull session. Hello. Um. Anyways, I just, besides Apollo still being fine, there was really, how I feel about Apollo popping up on Marriage to Medicine is how I feel about Robin and Juan. Like, the story is playing out after the fact. It, like, Robin and Juan's story playing out on season 8 is a story we already know. And it's like they're just playing in our faces. Like, Apollo and Phaedra story on Married to Medicine is playing out, but it at least with Robin and Juan, like, they're on the show. Like, I think they did a horrible job at introducing Phaedra to the Married to Medicine viewer. I think they just banked on Phaedra being on Real Housewives of Atlanta, even though she has not been on Real Housewives of Atlanta in seasons, that people will automatically know who she was. I think it was a mess that Apollo, her ex-husband, just popped up at the reunion. We haven't seen this man this entire season. We've heard his name mentioned probably once or twice. And now they're going back discussing things that happened on Real Housewives of Atlanta, bringing up Candy and Todd. Girl, what does that have to do? I just didn't get it. I just didn't get it. Um, I'm not gonna lie. When they played that old clip of Apollo saying, "You took everything from me," and Phaedra was like, "Did I, baby?" Did I, baby? Yes. Um, I think that Phaedra and Apollo are both lying. I think they both had a discussion about what Apollo would say and would not say. Um, what I think they're lying about is their relationship. I don't think they have this great relationship, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Apollo can't even go in Phaedra's house. Just listen to me. Apollo can't even go into Phaedra's house. He said he goes all the time, but he doesn't go inside. If y'all have this great of a relationship like y'all tried to say on the show, then why would Apollo not be able to go inside the house? And then Phaedra also said that she doesn't need to nor care to have a relationship with his wife. Now, I kind of can understand that to a certain degree, because at this point, the boys are old enough to vocalize to Phaedra if they were being mistreated, I think it is important when, kids are not able to really speak up and let you know that, Miss Ashley, tugging at my hair when daddy ain't around. But the kids are of a certain age. They're well spoken. They can tell Phaedra if Apollo's wife is mistreating them, right? So there's really no need for Phaedra to have a relationship with the lady. I said, if they were younger, I could see how she would probably want to meet her and be like, I just want to meet the helper who's going to be around my kids, right? But at this point, it's kind of like, girl, do I really need to get to know her? Do I need a friendship? Not really, because I just don't need to know her. And if something pop off, my kids can tell me. But then on the flip side, it's like that also kind of proves that y'all relationship is not the best, because it's not like this woman has come into your life while you were married to Apollo. And even if she was, you was on your way to divorcing him when he was in prison, anyways. So I don't know. I just think that they are pulling stunts in shows. I think Phaedra and Apollo both pulling stunts in shows. On one hand, again, I can see how they, you know, don't deal with each other, but don't get on TV trying to act like y'all have this good relationship, because you really don't deal with Apollo like that. You won't let him in your house, and you don't deal with his wife like that. You don't even probably you probably don't even know that lady's how to spell that lady's first name. But then this lady is still around your kids though, unless the kids don't go over to Apollo's house. That's why he's always coming over there, probably in the backyard playing basketball. Mm. But anyways, at this point, I still feel like it's a little weird that Apollo just popped up at the reunion. I thought it was unnecessary. They started, like I said, they started talking about Candy and Todd. The whole like FBI and the stuff staying at at Candy's house. I don't know what Apollo was trying to say. Apollo, you stole the money. You had the stuff, girl. You had the stuff stashed at Candy house. He tried to make it seem as though I guess that Candy could have possibly been using it as a storyline. I don't know, and I don't care no more. Anyways, Apollo started talking about when he was in jail. Oh, he was in the same jail as Joe Judice, but he got sent to the shoot. Girl, when I tell you, shout out to everybody who been in jail. When I tell you, I know that they were all judging Apollo. You could just look at their facial expressions, like what is going on. Girl. Apollo was locked up. I think he was in what is it called? Go when you by yourself. The people in jail. Let us know. You ain't even got to be in jail to know that. Girl, y'all know what I'm talking about. Solitary confinement. Is that what it's called? I think that's what happened to him. He really wouldn't go into detail. He said he would have to tell Andy off of camera. Y'all saw when Andy got up and gave Apollo a hug. Girl. And that's why the people over there accusing you of SH now. Hello? That hug. Girl, girl, let me shut up. Cecil talks about they bring up Cecil calling Sweet Tea an upgrade from Quad. He came up with some BS answer. I will say I thought that Quad was gonna lay into Cecil, but then I thought about it. She really can't. At this point, Quad really was on some. Yeah, Quad really was on some. You right, I'm wrong. Pretty much the whole reunion. And I guess she had to do what she had to do because they like to ice people out. And if they choose to ice her out, and if nobody wants to film with her, then she won't have a job. So this whole reunion, Quad was really just sitting there with her tail tucked between her legs. Cecil again explained why he said that Quad was an upgrade. I think he said something about, basically in a nutshell, Dr. G being a lot more happy this go around. Um, Quad was on Watch What Happens Live, and she says that Sweet Tea is a better fit for Dr. G because she could be easily influenced. Sweet Tea, said that she felt like that wasn't Quad's place to say anything because she didn't know her like that. I don't think it's the case in every relationship where there's a huge age gap between the between two people or three or four, however your situation set up. But like if I got into a relationship with a man who was in his 50s or 60s, girl, he is going to it probably wouldn't work because he probably would think that he could just come in and just girl and I'm just going girl whatever you like girl no girl no. So, but I do feel like with Sweet Tea and Dr. G, I can see with Sweet Tea being as young as she is in comparison to Dr. G that she's willing, he knows that he could pull a stunt in a show on Sweet Tea. Um, they talked about, I feel like we've had this conversation at least 4 or 5 times. Dr. G and Phaedra and the $4,000. Dr. G, I turned my nose up. My face was all scrunched up when he was talking. Dr. G basically, in a nutshell, said that first of all, no, everybody believes that Phaedra is lying. Phaedra asked for that money, just like shout out to Erica De Niro TV. Just like Erica De Niro TV said, she ain't asked for 4,000. She probably asked for 43, 42.50, 41.50, and Dr. G just saying 4,000. So technically, I guess she ain't lying, but she lying. Girl, Phaedra know she asked for that goddamn money. Everybody know Phaedra is telling a bold faced lie. Um, but anyways, he says that Phaedra did ask for the 4,000. I think at the time he said he was just finishing school, and he ain't had no money to give out like that. Even if he had it, he probably wouldn't have gave it anyways. But then he goes to say that he should have lied to Phaedra about the 4,000. It sounded like to me what he was saying was he should have lied to Phaedra about the 4,000, so he could have probably still got some Boochie Cat, and it was gonna be what it was gonna be. You never know. You never know. I felt it also sounded like to me he was saying that maybe if he would have lied and told Phaedra he would give her the 4,000, or maybe if he would have gave her the 4,000, you never know what their situation might be today. I was like, this nigga, you just sit up there and said that maybe you should have one lied about the 4,000 so you could get some puss. And on top of that, you're also saying that maybe if you would have lied, or maybe if you would have had to gave her the 4,000, even not lying, then you never know what the outcome could have been. Like almost saying that maybe we could have been married today. I said, this nigga is crazy. I said, that was all looking crazy on stage. Like, what is this nigga saying? Like, and you heard Dr. Eugene trying to hurry up and get in and try and fix it for Phaedra. Oh no, no, I don't think she was asking for the fourth. She was asking for the 4,000. Okay. Um, Apollo says that he met Phaedra's expectations in many ways. I thought that. Listen, I'm not. Listen, I am not one of those people that believe that just because you're married, that all of a sudden you go blind and you can't see someone who's attractive. I think that's dumb and stupid. Just because you married don't mean that you don't see fine women or fine men walking around no more. Okay, you got married, girl. You didn't lose your eyesight. Okay, but I do feel like sometimes, like I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I do feel like Apollo up there saying I met all of her expectations. It had like a sexual tone to it, almost, and I felt like that was a tad bit disrespectful. If I was his wife, especially seeing that Apollo was over there cheating the other day with that lady, y'all saw the video on floating around the internet. I just thought it was a tad bit disrespectful to his wife. even with Dr. G saying right there in front of Sweet Tea that maybe if I would have gave her the 4,000, you never know where we could have been today. I thought that was a tad bit disrespectful too. Like y'all, like I was like, it was kind of cringy, especially knowing that Apollo has a wife at home, and he's talking about I met her expectations in every way. Like, ugh, gross. And we know you met her financially because you was over there stealing from them people. I'm gonna leave Phaedra alone. Y'all see, I'm really trying to be nice on Phaedra. He met her expectations in every way. I guess the financial expectations too. Well, shit, as much money that you was stealing from them people, you better have. Dr. Eugene talks about Toya and Toya's mouth and how he likes it and how he knew Toya's mouth before they got married. Y'all heard Phaedra say City Girls up 1,000. I said, girl, not this 55-year-old woman up there talking about City Girls up 1,000. Girl, shut your old ass up. Girl, you should be talking about Vanity 6 up 1,000, girl. Okay? Jade. Girl, Janae women up 1,000. You talking about City Girls. Anyways. Andy is messy. Okay. He brings up Dr. G being nervous. Because you remember Dr. G said he was kind of nervous about being around Quad. Well, he brought it up on stage that Dr. G had mentioned that backstage. And he starts to go into a speech about, you know, being around Quad and the toxicity that was involved in their relationship in the past. And I don't know if Quad cut him off or if that's how they edited it, but Quad was basically like, "Look, you knew I was on the show before you decided to come back to the show. So, girl, let's move on." I was with Quad. I'm telling y'all, it makes no sense to me how Delulu, Dr. G, and Sweet Tea is when it comes to them being on Married to Medicine. I get that I think that kind of goes into the whole thing that Sweet Tea can be easily influenced. Just listen to me. Because Heavenly, even though she was dead ass wrong, somehow convinced Sweet Tea that by you joining this show, you'll be okay. Just for Sweet Tea and Heavenly to turn around and can't stand each other. I think that plays into Quad saying that she's easily influenced because no grown person who has a little bit of experience would even possibly think that they could join a 10-year plus friend group where the ex-wife is still a part of the friend group and think that they would just be welcomed with open arms and think that, girl, it wouldn't be some shade in the mix. Again, there's no way I would think that I could come into a 10-year friend group of gay men as the new husband of, and then the ex-husband is in the group, and I'm thinking that the girls is gonna be reading. Girl, we might have to pop each other once or twice. You know what I'm saying? Girl, so I think that plays into her being naive and gullible and easily influenced and all of the above. And look at Dr. G. Dr. G, you went out of the show, left the show, talking about how you and Quad was over there, girl, like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. If y'all don't know, that's a movie. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Girl, tearing that house up. And you really came back like knowing Quad was going to be on the show. Like I just don't understand their minds. I just don't get it. Dr. G says that he didn't get a prenup. Let me tell you something. After I would have saw Sweet Tea on TV talking about I got a little access to the money. Yes, but Sweet Tea says she walks in that house. Hey! Baby, Sweet Tea said she walked in that house and was like, I decide, I. What's the best part about being engaged to Dr. G? I got a little access to the money. I said, I know that's right. I got a little access to the money. Yeah. He said he ain't get no prenup. He said, basically, he made it seem as tried to make it seem as though he got money and Sweet Tea got money too. I think Sweet Tea makes a decent living. I don't think that Sweet Tea making money like Dr. G making money, and I know she damn sure ain't making money like the rest of the girls not making money. Not sitting in the parking lot buying money from the African scammer. Not buying Gucci and Chanel and Fendi and Prada. Girl, out the trunk of somebody's back car. It ain't like they went and swooped it up from Phipps Plaza. But that's some shit they got off. That's just some shit they got from New York. Do you know they used to selling bags on the floor? Have you been in New York? You know what I'm talking about? Over there, like in the Times Square area, grabby people lined up just selling all types of designer stuff, just laying on the floor, laying on the ground. Hello, talking about $50, $50, girl. Girl. Girl, I don't wear nothing fake. Okay, shout, no shade. Shout out to the girls who fake it till they make it. That's just not my ministry. Okay, if I can't afford it, I just go. Girl, I just go get me a. Girl, I just go get me a little purse from Zara, and I'll be all right. Okay. I don't do the fake. I don't do the fake, girl. But yeah, I just don't think Sweet Tea. I think Dr. G is foolish for not getting a prenup. Um, I think he's too long in a tooth, girl. I know everybody wants to think that their marriage is going to end. I mean, it's going to last forever. I think that's a beautiful thing to think that, but I also think that it's a little weird, especially when we look up every time we look up somebody getting a divorce. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with wanting to protect your assets. I just don't. Um, Honey, we'll look up and Sweet Tea be on this show for 5 or 6 years, making more money than Dr. G. And then, girl, they get a divorce and she paying Dr. G. That'll be the gag of the century. Hello. Um, but yeah, I just don't think that Sweet Tea's money is as long as Dr. G's. I'm not saying that rich people don't buy fake stuff because we hear stories of all the time. That's how the rich get richer, right? Because we don't question when we see people, especially on TV, because we think just because you're on TV, you rich, right? We don't question people on TV. Well, the girls who got the Hermes bags on Love and Hip Hop, I question them all the time, girl. Because girl, y'all are walking around here with Kellys and all types of shit, and I don't understand it. Oh god, I heard something dripping. Um, but yeah, I know that just because we see you on TV, or just because you could even be rich, that doesn't mean that you necessarily are buying everything real. Because people are going to assume that it's real just because they think they know your financial situation, and that could be the case with Sweet Tea. I just don't think it is. I don't think Sweet Tea got money like that. I think that she live. I think that she has a job with the government. Even if she makes 6 figures, it's probably right at 100,000. I don't think Sweet Tea would be at the back of some African man's car buying fake Chanel, Louis, and Prada if she had coin like that. I just don't think so. I think she would have been right at the Chanel store with the other girls. Anyways, um, and she wouldn't also be so impressed by Dr. G's money if she had her own like that. If you got money like that to the point, you're not gonna be walking into something. I got a little access to the money, right? Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Anyways, Quad, they bring up Quad apologizing to Dr. Eugene. I'm about to say something. Y'all know Dr. Eugene. I think that man is one of the best black men on TV. I think that there should be more Dr. Eugenes on TV. If I could wipe the slate clean with all these knuckles that be on TV, I would. If I could replace them with a Dr. Eugene. With that being said, I always said Dr. Eugene, and we all got our ways, and Dr. Eugene got his too. Dr. Eugene can be a little catty sometimes. I think it's easy for Dr. Eugene to go back and forth with Quad, hold a grudge against Quad, because Quad doesn't have a man there behind her to protect her. Even last year, when Eugene and Quad were going back and forth, it didn't bother me because I thought Quad was turning Eugene up. Well, shut your mouth when talking about me. I know that's right. Quad can handle her own. She don't need no man behind her. But I think it's easier for Eugene to go after Quad, hold a grudge against Quad, because even when she was apologizing, he was just looking like, I felt like he was thinking like, bitch, shut up. That's what I felt like he was thinking. When the truth of the matter is, if Eugene was gonna have animosity towards any woman, it's no tea, no shade. Y'all know I love her to pieces, but it definitely should be Dr. Heavenly. The way that Dr. Heavenly used to get down to YouTube last year and tear Toya to shreds. I remember Heavenly saying out of her own mouth that Toya was an embarrassment to the black community. Girl, because of her financial situation. Girl, if that's not a dig at Eugene too, I don't know what the fuck it is. So I just always thought it was weird how they had this hatred towards Quad when a lot of that hatred really should have been directed towards Heavenly. Heavenly really got off scot free. The way that she used, when I tell you, it used to get to the point where I would watch Heavenly's videos about Married to Medicine, and I would get uncomfortable how much she would drag the shit out of Toya. And quiet as it's kept, if Eugene was also getting some of those bullets, right? It's no different than how I felt about Ross on Real Housewives of Atlanta. You yelling at Sheree and Kenya. Would you have done that if Sheree and Kenya had if Big Eye Cross Eye Bob was standing beside Sheree? If Mark Daly was sitting beside Kenya, would you have stood up and cursed at them? I'm just saying. Anyways, Heavenly and Simone, you ain't gonna lie, when Heavenly said, before you start yelling at me. Oh, so they start talking about the Hilton Head. The truth of the matter is, girl, production set the trip up. Simone was set to host the trip. They brought the information to the show as if it was Simone's fault. Of course, Simone can't say, girl, production set this up. So Simone really had to take the heat for like setting the trip up, even though she didn't set the trip up. She just hosted the trip, right? Like they do on most of the Bravo shows, girl. The production paid. They said, do you want to host a trip? The girl said, yeah. They paid for the trip to Hilton Head. Simone said she was going to host it. And then Heavenly girl took the wheel, took it and ran with it, basically. And that's where that's where Curtis took his mistress. Heavenly basically got to it before Simone could, but Simone still wanted to get her point across. The point is Heavenly was basically saying that Jackie needs to start speaking up for herself. That's the point. And then Dr. Simone says that yes, that is the point. Listen, I know we still mad at Dr. Simone for that stunt she pulled with Quad in the little dead baby, right? The dead child. Quad's family member. I don't know the relation. I don't know the relation. But in this situation, Simone is 1000% correct. Whatever issue that Jackie has with the planning of this trip, I don't need to hear it from Dr. Heavenly. I don't need someone coming in trying to tell me about the woman who I've been knowing for 20 plus years, right? Jackie sits there and she just lets everybody do her dirty work. You see, even Dr. Alicia jumped in, and even though Dr. Simone did say, "Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong," so I can't say she jumped in because Dr. Simone extended the invitation for the ladies to give their thoughts and opinions, and Dr. Alicia starts to talk about how, basically calling Simone out. But I just felt like in the situation with Heavenly and Simone, Heavenly and Simone ain't gonna. Y'all so busy trying to get Quad out the group when the truth of the matter is y'all helpers really can't stand each other. Simone can't stand Heavenly. She ain't gonna never like Heavenly. She ain't gonna never like Heavenly because Heavenly got Cecil together. And she also blames Heavenly for the demise of her friendship with her good friend, Dr. Jackie. Even though Dr. Jackie does not fucking listen. Simone is sitting here trying to tell you basically, this is how I feel, right? Dr. Jackie is telling Simone, well, that you shouldn't feel that way. It don't matter what she should or should not feel. She's telling you that's how I feel. And Dr. Jackie needs to take a stance and tell Dr. Heavenly anything that has to do with Simone and our friendship, stay out of it. Don't ever say nothing. Even if Simone is going off about something that I did or said, stay out of it. Even if everybody knows Simone is dead as 1,000,000% wrong, stay out of it. That's what Dr. Jackie needs to tell Dr. Heavenly. And I think she also needs to say that on the show when the cameras are rolling too. Maybe she probably has, and I just don't remember. But Dr. Jackie has this thing of saying, well, Dr. Heavenly is grown. That's a grown woman. I can't control. No, Dr. Heavenly is a grown woman. Don't get it twisted. You can't control Dr. Heavenly's mouth because she's going to say what she want to say. But Dr. Heavenly has enough respect for Dr. Jackie out of everybody on that stage outside of Dr. Daddy Damon that if Dr. Jackie told her, Heavenly, shut up, I think that Heavenly will listen. I do. Maybe Dr. Jackie don't care about her friendship with Dr. Simone like that no more. Dr. Simone said something about like, I saw it on your face, like basically saying she was hurt when they said they were going to Hilton Head. And then she said, and then Dr. Jackie said, so I didn't have to tell you. Girl. And what she should have said was that she didn't have to tell me either. Girl. Simone was right. Heavenly needs to stay out of Jackie and Simone's friendship. Period. On all things. Okay. Sweet Tea made a good point. She said even though she has these false expectations of what it was going to be like when she joined this friend group, but the truth of the matter is, just like she said, it felt like people were making her the butt of the joke and wanted to talk about her husband. And she felt like she had to turn around and show empathy towards Jackie and her situation and the mess that was going on with the whole Hilton Head. Quiet as it's kept. Sweet Tea, I know Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea told me at BravoCon she watched my videos. She probably don't watch no more. But Sweet Tea, sister girl, what you should have been telling Dr. Jackie and everybody else in that room, well, since y'all want to talk about husbands, especially when Dr. Jackie asked you about your husband being in the hotel room when he wasn't even your husband, well, since y'all want to talk about husbands, let's talk about Curtis. Because the truth of the matter is my husband ain't never cheated on me. You talking about a situation that ain't had nothing to do with me, if we're going to be honest about it. But since you want to talk about husbands being in hotel rooms, let's talk about yours. But see, Sweet Tea, her way of responding is, fuck you, bitch. Like, no, girl, you should have wrapped Jackie up. You should have had Jackie so mad to the point she didn't want to say nothing to you for the rest of the season. Because quiet as it's kept, as soon as Jackie opened up her mouth and said whatever she said to her about how do you feel about your husband being in the hotel room? Well, how do you feel about yours being in the hotel room? Because that wasn't my husband. Hello, that's how she should have flipped that on Dr. Jackie. Hello? And if anybody else got something to say, what y'all got to say? Because, Simone, did you almost lose your husband to a lesbian? Hello? So I think we not like, do y'all really want to talk about the husbands? Do y'all really want to talk about the husbands? Because the only one who probably got a little room to talk is Toya. Okay? Anyways, Toya, Andy asked Toya, well, I think a viewer asked a question. Anyways, they asked Toya a question about Kima and Alicia, Dr. Kima and Dr. Alicia. And she basically says in a nutshell, she hopes that Dr. Alicia is getting her needs met. I guess Dr. Alicia wanted to bring up Dr. Eugene's penis size because she was like, well, I've never complained about my husband's penis size. And that's when Toya should have said, that's what I said, girl, the girls need me. Girl, that's what Toya should have said. But you were complaining about being pregnant, having swollen ankles in the kitchen, still having to cook for your man. In case you didn't know, girl, I'm served. I don't serve. In case you didn't know, girl, my husband and my children, they serve me. Your husband had you in the kitchen with 500-pound ankles. Girl, neck swole, finger swole, still having to go outside. Girl, catch lion, tigers, and bears. Girl, skin them. Girl, fillet them and cook rice and beans and plantains. Girl. So you can say you never complain about your husband's penis size, but you damn sure complain about a lot of other shit. You were the one who was talking about how you have to have a helmet in his hand and girl, a spoon in this one. Toya really could, on some real shit, Toya really could have ate up Dr. Alicia if she wanted to. But see, girl, y'all energy is on quad when girl, y'all should be trying to low key quad on some real shit. Toya should have been wrapping up Dr. Alicia and Sweet Tea should have been wrapping up girl Dr. Jackie. Easily. Easily. Okay. They gonna learn. Well, Toya, she too long in the game not to know. Sweet Tea, I think Sweet Tea coming back next season. Sweet Tea, all I can do is tell Sweet Tea this, girl, stop letting people play in your face. Even though, girl, listen, I'm gonna say this. I'll be nice. Sweet Tea, stop letting people play in your face. When those cameras come on, it's time to turn it up a notch. So when the girls throw you shade, you got to know when the girls are throwing you shade. When Dr. Jackie brings up anything about a cheating husband, you bring up Curtis. Period. Okay? Toya, when Dr. Alicia want to bring up husbands, girl, out of everybody on the show, girl, if anybody bring up husbands, girl, it's your time to go in and let half on anybody. Okay? Anyways, Dr. Alicia, they start talking about oral sex. Dr. Alicia clearly, this is the thing. Y'all think I don't like Sweet Tea, and I don't have no issues with Sweet Tea. The one who I got my good eye on was Dr. Alicia. I think Dr. Alicia is a gorgeous woman, but it's something about Dr. Alicia. I don't dislike Dr. Alicia. There's actually no one on the cast of Married to Medicine that I dislike except for probably Phaedra. It's not that I dislike Dr. Alicia, but my good eye is on Dr. Alicia. Dr. Alicia, you said the stuff that you said during the season, and now you've come to the reunion trying to walk it back, right? Now it's, I would never disrespect my husband. I would never say that. But girl, you've already told us that your husband pretty much is a sorry nigga outside of work. That's what you done said. You want us to believe that, oh, I just love being a mom. I just love being a mom. I just love being a mom. Does he love being a dad? Hello? Because, girl, as soon as because even when y'all was having a birthday party for the little boy and you asked him to feed the little boy, Y'all heard? Did y'all hear Dr. Kima talk about? Oh, this is when we need a nanny. He can't even feed his own fucking son for 5 minutes. You can't even go in the house and grab a balloon and a candle, girl. But without him complaining about needing a nanny, you told us that, girl. You have to do stuff around the house, and you tell him he's not man enough for me. He wasn't man enough for me. That's what you said. And now you get to the reunion trying to switch it all up. Now it's, girl, y'all don't have oral sex because as y'all are both oral surgeons and something something something. Girl, what they got to do with eating pussy and sucking dick? I'm so sick and tired of Dr. Lee trying to lay in my face. Girl, they was all looking like, girl, what they got to do with anything, girl? Dr. Alicia, you want to get your cooch munched on. You already told us. You told us he could do it a little more. Now, in all fairness, I don't think he likes to receive oral sex either. That's fine. But Dr. Alicia said she want her face in a place. You know, Dr. Alicia said you gonna have to face the nation. Shout out to the diva. Hello? But now you want to get to the reunion trying to switch up everything you done said. Like, girl, no. I ain't said shit that the shit that I said Dr. Alicia said, she said it. Okay? Now, of course, I might put a little stank on it. Girl, a little sauce. No, I don't put no sauce on it. That's what she said. Dr. Alicia told us that she wished that Dr. Kima could eat a little cat more. She told us that, girl, she said that he's not a man, right? Because she has to do some of the, I guess, the housework. She said these things. She said these things. Anyways, Heavenly and Sweet Tea get into it. I'm sorry, Heavenly got every right to cut Sweet Tea out. This is the second time Sweet Tea has come for Heavenly's occupation. We're gonna call a thing, y'all. I know some of y'all don't like Heavenly, but she did it online, right? When she was like, "You're not respected. You're not respected in the medical community." Remember they got into it online a couple of weeks ago, and then at the reunion, she was like, "You say you're a doctor, but you took an oath." And then Dr. Heavenly called it, and Sweet Tea cursed at Dr. Heavenly, was like, "You don't know what the fuck you talking about," or something like that. And Heavenly was like, "Fuck you, and you want to, bitch, I can give you a problem." I ain't gonna lie what she said. When she said, Dr. Heavenly started cussing Sweet Tea out, and she was like, "Yeah, and Jackie, she gonna get up and whoop your ass too. Bitch, get up. What the, say something, bitch." I said, "Girl, why is she cursing us out?" When I tell you, everybody started laughing because it was funny. Oh, but Sweet Tea did it again. She started talking about Dr. Heavenly taking an oath, and you acting like Dr. Heavenly telling your dental record, girl. Now I know you probably don't want to go to her as your dentist again, but I don't know. Like I was like, see, that's why Sweet Tea in the she in, because she low key is coming for Dr. Heavenly's job. She is. So don't get mad when Heavenly come back and, girl, start knocking heads off shoulders. Anyways, they talked about Faye. Remember when Phaedra called Toya a tennis expert? Yeah, she kind of, girl. I guess this was the read that Heavenly got on talking about. Girl, she read me. You know, Heavenly, she gonna put 20 on 10. Heavenly do what she's supposed to do to make sure that people think that the show is interesting. Did Phaedra just read her? No, it was a classy read. So basically, they were talking about Phaedra's decor in her home. I think Phaedra's home is not my style, but I think Phaedra's. I don't have. It doesn't have to be my style for me to think it's nice. I think Phaedra's house is very nice. I love it. But she was basically saying that Phaedra must had a lot of stuff going on in her head, and Phaedra was like, "Well, you know, I travel a lot internationally." And basically saying that basically saying that Dr. Heavenly don't know shit because, bitch, you just live it out. You from Florida, you moved to Atlanta. Girl, I got stamps on my passport, so, girl, of course you're not gonna know good taste, okay? And then she was the ex had she been up Heavenly's house, and she was like, you know, I remember seeing. I think she said she been to Heavenly's house, but out on the inside of her home, and she was like, I just remember seeing like a curtain rod. It was kind of like leaning a little bit. She was low key getting Heavenly together in a classy way. But I don't think it's nothing that Heavenly couldn't respond to. I think she just chose not to respond. And that was pretty much the end of it, girl. They all go around and say their little thoughts. Toya says basically in a nutshell that they can move forward, but girl, they're gonna have to stop bringing up stuff from the past. And that's really what it comes down to. They're gonna have to. This is the thing, and this is what any. This is for me, you, your mom, and your cousin too. In order to move forward with people who you say you want to move forward with, you have to really be over whatever that happened. If it's still here, you ain't never gonna be over it. So you have to genuinely, like, you have to be over it. Because if not, as soon as Mad Day come, it's gonna come up, and now y'all back to square one. So if you're not over it, it ain't no moving forward. Once you say you're over it, you're gonna have to move forward. You can't keep bringing old stuff back up. I don't want to hear about. I don't want to hear about Quad and this robbery stuff. Because at this point, y'all just want to pick when you mad. Because if you ain't mad at Carrie, if you ain't mad at Anila, then girl, you shouldn't be mad at Quad. And if you're not gonna be mad at Heaven, because Quad wasn't talking to her goddamn self on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, anyways, Heavenly said that on the live with Carlos King that I guess she misspoke. Girl, now girl, and she really didn't know who received letters. Who she said she got hers. That's all she knows. She says, she's got hers. She hasn't signed it yet. She says she is, but she doesn't really know, I guess, who got letters back, contracts, or what. But she got hers. That's why you got no business bringing your ass down to the internet, girl. Anyways, all right, y'all. I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good day. Bye, y'all.